2. Check in 1, 2.
My name is Frank Spinoza. I'm president of the American Podiatric Medical Association. Good morning, attendees, faculty, board members, staff, sponsors, exhibitors, friends, family, honored guests. Aloha! Not bad for this time of the morning. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the APMA 2014 Annual Scientific Meeting in beautiful Honolulu. What a privilege it is to be in this astounding setting, learning with and from each other. In a moment, I'll introduce Greg Schwem, our very entertaining speaker for this session. But I want to take advantage of this fairly unique opportunity to speak directly to so many of our members at once. So let's just be serious for a moment. As many of you know, my goal for my presidency is to enhance communication with you, our members. That's particularly important as we continue to work towards the goals of Vision 2015. The overarching goal of Vision 2015 is to advance the profession of podiatric medicine by being recognized as physicians within our education, training, and experience. Vision 2015 creates a path to parity for us to follow. Vision 2015 set lofty goals for our profession, and together we've made huge advances in accomplishing those goals. We've created a standard 3-year residency program to further educational parity. We've established strong, mutually beneficial relationships with important allies in healthcare, from the American Medical Association and the American Osteopathic Association to the Society for Vascular Surgery and the American Academy of Family Physicians. We conducted a manpower study, and we're working closely with our colleagues at the American Association of Colleges of Podiatric Medicine to advance our student recruitment efforts. We continue to gain allies in Congress for federal legislation designed to achieve parity under Medicaid. We have conducted a significant PR campaign, the Today's Podiatrist campaign, around podiatric medicine. We dramatically overhauled the APMA website, and we continue to see legislative victories nationwide, like the one our colleagues in Hawaii celebrated earlier this year. Podiatrists in Hawaii successfully updated their scope of practice consistent with their education and training. Their revised scope includes surgical treatment of the muscles and tendons of the leg that govern functions of the foot, and amputations up to and including the ankle. This law also allows podiatrists to treat ankle fractures. Well done, Hawaii. Some of our lofty national goals may continue to evolve for years to come. My message here is that the path to parity is a long-term strategy for APMA. Vision 2015 was an important component of achieving that strategy. APMA is committed to its path to parity in 2015 and beyond. For our profession to be successful, we must have your commitment as well. We need committed members who are active in their local healthcare communities, who use tools like our new e-advocacy system, who give of their time and resources. We need committed components that engage their state medical and osteopathic societies, work with legislators and payers, and actively support the national efforts of APMA. We need committed partners in healthcare who understand our education, training, and experience and help us to educate those who don't. With you, our members, leaders, and partners, APMA will continue to lead the way on the path to parity, and we will achieve our goals. Before introducing our featured speaker, I'd like to thank Upshur Smith for its continuing support for our opening session. I'd also like to thank our colleagues from Hawaii for welcoming us to their beautiful home state. Please join me in welcoming Grace Pasquale, DPM, our local Hawaiian member of the Annual Scientific Meeting Committee, who would like to briefly welcome APMA. Dr. Grace.
Aloha kakahiaka. I am Grace Pascual. Welcome to Hawaii. First of all, we are very, very happy to have you all here. And I would like to introduce my president of HPMA. It's Bob LaRue. And he's going to come up here and say a few words. But we have something for our APMA president. But I'd also want to remind you folks, don't forget, we also have a cultural booth from HPMA to all of you folks in booth 923. Bob?
Good morning. Aloha kaha polar vortex. I moved here 30 years ago from Chicago, and when I first came out here to Hawaii, there were no surgical privileges at our local hospitals. Talk about our vision, and to 2015, it seemed like we were getting behind, and when 45 states had ankle fracture laws and ours didn't, we decided, all right, as a group, there's only 20 of us, let's do this. And incredibly, we were able to get this done in 3 months. And without the help of National, it was unbelievable. I called them, wrote them, and we'd submit some of the anti-testimony against, and instead of just giving us a bunch of the Reuters study and all of this stuff, they dissected the arguments against this and were immeasurable in their help to get this done. And National is incredible. I wish all of you a wonderful stay in my new home here, Hawaii. Enjoy yourselves. And what we have now, in honor of Vision 2015, and all the accomplishments we've made in our local environments and nationally, for Dr. Spinoza, we have a koa paddle, and it represents the journey that we've done, and we'd like to thank you. Aloha.
Are you in here?
Yes. Thanks much.
Thank you. This is amazing. Will it fit in the overhead compartment on the plane going home? What I'm really worried about is when I don't take the garbage out, what my wife Robin will do with this. Thank you both so much. All right, now let's have some fun. Greg Schwem's comedic take on the 21st century workplace and work-life balance has landed him on Sirius Radio, Fox News, Comedy Central, and the pages of Parents Magazine. More than just a business humorist, Greg is also an author, nationally syndicated humor columnist, and award-winning greeting card writer. Yes, you heard that last one correctly. He has shared the concert stage with the likes of Celine Dion and Jay Leno. A graduate of Northwestern University's prestigious Medill School of Journalism, Greg never envisioned a career in laughter. Instead, he settled in Florida. Nobody laughs in Florida. Becoming an award-winning reporter for NBC-owned WPTV in West Palm Beach. But the comedy bug bit Greg hard, and he returned to his hometown of Chicago, where he honed his stand-up act in nightclubs. Greg's show provides a hilarious look at today's corporate environment and the latest tools used to conduct business. Indeed, Greg's client list includes such heavyweights as McDonald's, Microsoft, General Motors, IBM, Hyatt Hotels, United Airlines, and Cisco Systems. And now, APMA. So please join me in extending a warm aloha welcome to Greg Schwem.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. And a very, very good morning and aloha to the American Podiatric Medical Association. I hope you don't mind if I call you that. It's a little bit easier than referring to you as APMA, and it's a little less confusing, too. As a matter of fact, you know, my manager called me a couple of months ago, and he says, hey, how'd you like to go to Hawaii and do a show for APMA? And I always like to find out as much information as I can about the group I'm working for, so I Googled APMA, and I said, you know what? Absolutely, I want you to say yes. I really support this organization. I think they do a lot. It would be an honor and a privilege to do a show for the American Pregnancy Massage Association. So, yeah. Well, anyway, then I Googled a little further, and I found out that you guys look at feet all day, and well, needless to say, the fee went up rather significantly, but then I started thinking, what would be more fun? Making jokes about that or making jokes about those or those? I think it's pretty clear. So I'm glad you're who you are. I'm glad that you chose to have comedy. I don't even know really why you're having a comedian to start the session with all the fun that you're going to have today. I mean, did you take a look at your oral abstracts? Did you see what you were doing? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but today alone, you scheduled static and dynamic musculoskeletal ultrasound for detection of plantar plate pathology, transmetatarsal amputation to preserve prosthesis-free ambulation, and assessment of SPECT/CT and MRI for diagnosis of biopsy-proven diabetic foot osteomyelitis, and you scheduled all that in the same day? Well, Frank, I don't mean to tell you how to run your event, but maybe next year spread the fun out, people. This is a 4-day conference. Pace yourselves. Seriously, I don't know what's funnier, the names of those sessions or the fact that you came all the way to Hawaii just to participate in them. Online learning is a wonderful thing, people. You should really look into that. Let's see what else you're doing today. In case you, I don't know, is anybody going to this one? Therapeutic footwear reduces complications in diabetes, a 2-year retrospective longitudinal cohort study of 32,975 subjects? Who came up with that number? Couldn't you have just stopped at an even 32,000? Oh, no, Greg, the results are inconclusive. We need 900 more. No, we don't. We need 75 more. Why don't you just make it 33,000? Oh, no, that's too much work. No, really, we don't want to do that. How about this one? Okay, stay around till Saturday. You can go to this one. Topical antifungal therapy. New options, new opportunities. Wow. I get the options part. Any kids in the audience, if you don't know what you want to do with your life, apparently the topical antifungal industry is booming right now. So I don't mean to bust on your breakout sessions. Every company, every association I work for, they always have these really weird sounding breakout titles. I was just in Orlando and I did a show for 3,000 veterinarians. One of their breakouts was called "Help! My reptile can't get up." All I can think is, how would you even know if your reptile had fallen down? I like the fact that you don't make your breakout sessions sound all cutesy. They are what they are, right? A lot of companies I work for, they try to make their they give these sort of weird titles to them. Like I just worked for an insurance agency, and here are the titles of their breakouts: Harness the Power, Oh, the Places You Could Go, Unleash Your Potential, and One Size Does Not Fit All. I said, what'd you do, borrow these from the Viagra campaign or something? So yeah, I'm sorry that I'm not staying around. I'm only here for the day, and then we're moving on. But I'm sorry I won't be around tomorrow for this one, the Young Physicians Program, and she will be discussing MACs, RACs, and ZPICs, as well as DME and RVUs. Okay, can we just kind of cool it on the acronyms, people, for the next couple of days? This is my problem whenever I do shows for medical conferences, is they have all these acronyms. Now, I got to admit, I've done enough where I'm pretty good at some of the more common medical acronyms. I'm sure you're familiar with some of these, like TUBE, totally unnecessary breast examination, okay? FLKBCOTP, funny looking kid, but check out the parents. You know about that one, right? LOLFDGB, little old lady fall down, go boom. Univac, you hear that a lot, usually nasty infection, vultures are circling, and that's usually followed by GTMJACB, gone to meet Jesus, ain't coming back. So APMA, they said to me, Greg, we understand we do have a lot of acronyms and so on, so we're going to send you, they sent me a 7-page list of the acronyms you use. And some of them I totally get, like this one. This one needs an acronym. Okay, MTP, we know that's a metatarsal phalangeal. But there were others on that list. I don't understand why they were there, like this one, RICO. Racketeer Influence Corrupt Organization. What the hell does that have to do with feet? What, is there some podiatry mafia I don't know about? Yeah, hey, you pay up, but we're going to break all 10 of your metatarsals, okay? But we're going to do it the right way. That's right. We're going to put you under. We're going to break them. We'll put you in a walking boot. You should be up and around in a couple of weeks. Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah. So then they gave me, so after that I said, okay, I've got the acronyms down. How about a glossary of terms? So they sent me that too. They sent me a glossary of terms. And this was really helpful. It really was. For example, now I know that cuboid bone is specifically defined by you guys as a bone shaped like a cube. That's why you're the experts, people. How about this one? Calcaneal spur, also called a heel spur. Why don't you just call it a heel spur? Why do you have to confuse everybody? I'm glad I know that word, though. Now I can tell my wife, hey, you'd move faster through the airport if you weren't wearing those high calcaneals all day long. Well, welcome. Welcome to your conference. Thank you so much for having comedy. They told me that you always like to start out with something light, and they said, Greg, we're a fun group. We are not afraid to laugh at ourselves, so don't be afraid to poke a little good-natured fun at APMA, who we are, and the things that we do. And I said, well, that's great. Who are you, and what exactly is it that you do? And here's what I get back. It says, well, we're dedicated to promoting foot and ankle health, member service, and professional excellence while advancing the growth and stability of podiatric medicine by increasing nationwide awareness through public education and legislative advocacy. And, of course, once you hear that, woo, the jokes write themselves now, don't they? I called my manager. I said, finally, a chance to do all that foot promotion podiatric excellence material I have been stockpiling over the years. Yeah. Well, I'm just glad, I'll tell you, I think it's great that you have your own conference. I have worked at enough of these conferences where I'm convinced there is an association for everybody. I don't care what it is you do, what your hobby is, what your profession is, there's an association for you. Case in point, I was in Indianapolis just last weekend. I was doing a show for Biomet, which I know is represented here at your exhibit hall. But Biomet was sharing the hotel with these people. The National United Church Ushers Association of America. Yeah, apparently there's some new innovations in plate passing technology that we don't know about. My favorite part of this sign is the arrow telling you where it is. I'm like, shouldn't there be somebody greeting you and escorting you to the conference? Isn't that kind of what you do? Well, I applaud you for having your event in Hawaii here. It's a beautiful area, and I'm from Chicago, so I'm just glad to be somewhere where it's finally warm. I don't care what anybody else says. The Midwest had the worst winter of anybody, hands down, right? Not even close. Is anybody here from the Atlanta area? Applaud if you're from Atlanta. Atlanta area, anybody? Couple people right there? Yeah, okay, I love Atlanta, but please, stop bitching about the 2-inch blizzard that you had that paralyzed your city. Seriously, I just come in removing a 6-foot snowdrift off my driveway. I turn on CNN. They're interviewing a guy from Atlanta. He's brushing like 8 flakes off his shoulders going, this is a nightmare. We can't get our kids out of school. Yeah, they were upset because their children were trapped inside of the school. We need them home playing video games and not doing what they're told, I'll tell you. So what's really great is that what I love about Hawaii is you come here, you fly all day long, but you get off the plane and your phones work, and they still speak English. Well, sort of, they speak English. Like every now and then you come across these weird words like, after we leave here, we're going to go to Maui, and we're staying at this hotel, and I got to show you the name of one of the restaurants at the hotel we're staying at. Check that out at the bottom, okay? Humu Humu Nuku Nuku Apua Aha. That's the name of the restaurant. Yeah, so you've been there apparently? Did I pronounce that right? No, not even close. Thank you. How do you pronounce that? Okay, okay. Slow it down a little bit. Humu Hum Apua Ah. Isn't that what I said? No, it wasn't. Yeah. All I can think is, how'd you like to be the phone receptionist at that restaurant? Good evening. Humu, humu, nuku, nuku, apua, ah, please hold. Good evening. Humu, humu, nuku, nuku, apua, ah, please hold. Good evening. Pupu, nuku, you know what? We're booked. Don't call back. Why shouldn't you have your own conference? You're the world leader in what you do. You are the world leader in foot and ankle treatment. Yes, you are. Says it right on your website. But I would know that anyway. What was the joke? What was the joke? What am I not getting here? Is there something on the screen? Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah, you are. You're the world leader. Okay, you can tell me later why everybody's getting that except me. But anyway, so you're the world leader. Congratulations. But you know, it's weird. You know, every group I work for, they always say they're the world leader in something. I've done over 1,000 corporate shows. I have yet to work for the regional follower. That's true. Nobody's ever said to me, Greg, we're in third place and going nowhere fast. We're very proud of that. So here's a couple other things I found out about your website. Okay, so you're the world leader in you're the world leader in what you do. Okay, this is the premier foot and ankle conference. Okay, and if you stay around till Sunday, you can take part in the ultimate APMA coding seminar. Wow, you guys are pretty full of yourselves, aren't you? Yeah, and why shouldn't you be? Yeah, look at this. You guys have your own Wikipedia page. That is pretty cool. Well, it's pretty cool until you start surfing and you see what else has its own Wikipedia page. For example, Naval Lint has its own Wikipedia page. So let's not put ourselves on a big pedestal, okay? So many people I want to thank here that made this possible. How about a big hand for Frank for introducing me and being the president of the organization there? Yeah. Here's a great thing about, you know, and it's not easy, it's not easy being president of a big association like this. It really does take a toll on you, not just mentally, but physically as well. As a matter of fact, there's a picture of Frank today, as you can see, but we also have a photo of him when he began his term as president. I have no idea what happened, but apparently something did. I got over here early, and some of the folks that were talking to me, and they said, Greg, so this foot doctors and foot specialists, and that's probably one of the weirdest groups you've ever worked for. No, it's not. You're close, but you're not the weirdest one. I've done some really strange ones. This year alone, a couple of months ago, I was out in California, and I did a show for 500 cloud computing administrators. These are people who are hired to manage the cloud. Can you think of an easier job than that? To be responsible for something that only exists in cyberspace. That sounds like a great job for a 23-year-old stoner, doesn't it? You know, hey, Jared, where are those case files from 2004? They're all around you, man. They're in the cloud. You know what else is in the cloud right now? Me, that's who. I was in Orlando, I did a show for 1,000 engineers. That's like the toughest audience I've ever worked for, you know, because it's like, engineers, they're great people, but they take everything way too literally. They're not like you. They don't know what I'm messing with them, right? They take everything at face value. So I was in, I said Orlando, it was actually San Antonio. And I told this group that I was visiting, I'd visited the Alamo that day. Now, if you ever go visit the Alamo, I'm going to tell you it's a very depressing tour, because they get you in this little room, and they say, this is where it ended. The settlers were trapped. They had nothing, no food, no water, zip. And I said to the audience, I said, you know what, if they had just looked out the window, there's a Pizza Hut right across the street, okay? I'm not kidding. I must have had 10 engineers come up to the show. Well, you know, Greg, the Pizza Hut wasn't there back in the 18th century. Of course, if they had done a soil study with the price of raw material. Okay, slow down, Yoda, will you please? The veterinarians, that was a weird group too, because, you know, what's great about foot doctors is you have people skills. Veterinarians have no people skills because they talk to animals all day long. And eventually, they start talking to animals as if they were human. I found this out because we'd never had a pet before, and we just got a dog at the Schwem house. And I took the dog to the vet for its first appointment, and the vet says to me, she says, Mr. Schwem, what's your dog's name? I said, Macy. She goes, what's her last name? Dog. And her middle name is Macy the dog. Get it? This dog takes over our lives. You ever want to, like, not multitask, okay? You know what you got to do? Get a dog. Get a puppy. Because ever since we got this dog, the only thing on our mind, the only thing going on the Schwem house 24/7 is, where's the dog? Okay? A couple of months ago, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the kids are at school, I walk into the bathroom, my wife is stepping out of the shower, stark naked. I took one look at her and I said, have you seen the dog? Two things I really like about working for this organization. Well, at least two. Number one, I love your history. This group has been around since 1912. That is no small feat, bad pun intended. 1912, that's great. I love working for organizations that have a track record. A lot of companies I work for, a lot of associations, they try to hide that inexperience. I was out in Silicon Valley recently, and the CEO of this company pulls me aside. He says, Greg, a little background about our organization. You know, we were formed in the year 2009, but our employees have a combined 74 years of experience. Like, what kind of weird rationale is that? You know, I would never take 9 2-year-olds to an R-rated movie and go, yeah, but let's do the math here, huh? And after the movie, I'm going to pick a few more from daycare and hit the bars. What do you think of that? And you know what else I like about this group? I like the fact that there's buzz. There's buzz being generated by APMA, some of the things that you're doing, okay? You don't think so? Have you read your press releases? I've read your press releases. And for example, once I found out that APMA was calling on Congress to discontinue use of the doc fix legislation and instead work toward a permanent SGR replacement package that includes provisions of the HELP Act, well, the first thing I thought was, shut up! So it's great that you're here. Great that you all made it here this morning. Great that you're in this wonderful hotel. Yeah, y'all are staying at Hilton Hawaiian Village. Is that correct? Everybody staying there? Okay, hey, you want to do something fun? Next time you're at a conference like this and you're all staying at the same hotel, try and convince people you have a much better room than they do. It's really easy. Just walk up to somebody and go, hey, have you checked in yet? Yeah, are both your fireplaces working? Because, you know, mine works on the first floor, but the one upstairs by the pool table, I couldn't get that one lit, neither could the butler. You know what's great about that hotel, the Hawaiian Village, is what you see is what you get. I'm a hotel snob because I stay in a lot of hotels, so I always check out the hotel online, and you can always tell when certain hotels are lying based on the photos they put on their website. Let me give you an example. Okay, I just did a show at the Waldorf Astoria in Orlando, Florida. Now, that is a picture on their website. I want you to take a look at that. That's obviously a family returning from Disney World. Now, you know they're lying. Do you know why? Because nobody looks like that returning from Disney World. Especially the dads. You want to see a typical dad at the end of the day at Disney World? There you go, right there. That was shot at Disney World. That guy just has this look on his face like, with the amount of money I'm wasting here, I could have gotten the other knee tattooed. Long flight out here, wasn't it? Everybody's probably a little jet lagged this morning. That's why I applaud you. It's your energy. I think that's great. We flew all the way from Chicago. It was like a 10-hour flight, and we got there, and we were exhausted. So I check in. I think there was like some new kid working behind the desk because he looks at my license. He says, "Oh," he goes, "You're from Chicago." He goes, "What brings you to Hawaii?" And I didn't really feel like telling him I'm a comedian, so I just said, "I'm here for a meeting." He goes, "You came all the way to Hawaii just for a meeting? Can't you just, like, video conference?" I go, "Yeah, because that would really benefit the hotel industry now, wouldn't it?" I go, "Dude, don't talk yourself out of a career. That's like walking into a grocery store and a pig running up to you and going, 'Try the bacon, it's great.'" Why do we want to use technology for everything? Technology is great, but it doesn't replace what you people are so good at, and that's face-to-face, people-to-people skills. And everybody wants to do everything by computer now. You could have had this whole meeting virtually, but I don't understand why people do that. Don't you think we spend enough time on the computer? You ever done this? You ever spend so much time online that eventually you look at a web page and you say, "How did I end up here?" And you have to retrace your steps, right? You're like, now, wait a minute. I sat down about an hour ago to pay bills electronically, right? Yeah. Then I saw one of those calculators that told me how much college is going to cost in 10 years, so I typed in some figures, and I got really depressed at the results, okay? So I started thinking about athletic scholarships, and that reminded me that the Yankees game was on, so I went over to ESPN.com to check the score, and I got into a chat room with a bunch of other Yankees fans, and one of them sent me a YouTube clip of some of Derek Jeter's greatest defensive plays, and I was watching it, and it was set to music, and I really liked the song, but I didn't know who sang it, so I Googled the lyrics, and that's why I'm on Justin Bieber's Twitter page. Okay, this is good. We can't be without our technology, though. We have to have it wherever we go, okay? Once you start seeing products like this, you have gone over the deep end. If you have that in your bathroom, there's no hope for you. That's an actual product from Brookstone, by the way. I don't envision you people ever getting something like that because, from what I've heard, physicians as a group are a little bit behind everybody else when it comes to technology. It's true, you know? They're like modes of communication. You know, typical, you go to a hospital, radiology tech probably uses this. Nurse practitioner probably uses this. Physician, most likely that. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, and you know what? Even though I said that the phones work here, let's remember where we are, people. Let's remember what just a gorgeous part of the world you're in, and let's maybe for the next few days, let's just give the phones a break. I probably should have done this a little bit earlier in the show, but let's just make a pact. You and me and everybody here at APMA that will abide by what I call the smartphone code of conduct. I need your help. This is just a simple 3-part aye or nay. If you could all just raise your right hands. Just raise your right hands. This will just take a second, okay? Don't applaud yet, okay? I haven't done the joke. But anyway, okay, so here we go. I promise to give Greg approximately 20% of my undivided attention, with the other 80 reserved for suddenly checking emails, sending text messages, surfing the internet, and playing Candy Crush on my smartphone. All in favor, aye? Okay, keep your hands up, people. I'm not done yet. During Greg's presentation, I promise not to update my Facebook page, purchase anything, check my flight status, or tweet, "Who hired this guy?" All in favor, aye? Okay, hands down. Now, this one's the last one's the most important, so I need you to actually repeat it along with me if you could. So on the count of 3, everybody, all together. 1, 2, and 3. At no time will I add to my louder, already exploding cell phone bill by sending a useless 2-word text message to the person seated directly to my left. Thank you. Aye. When did that happen? When did we stop communicating verbally? I have 2 girls. They both have cell phones. I have yet to have a verbal conversation with them since they got the phone. I spend all my time trying to decipher their cryptic text messages. My favorite are the 1-letter texts. I got K from my daughter a few weeks ago. I just look at the phone. It's K. So I call her. I go, "Did you drop your phone?" She goes, "What?" I do. "I just got K. What is K?" She goes, "Dad, K is the abbreviation for okay." I said, "Okay is an abbreviation. You're 12. How busy can you be?" You know what you got to do? Next time your kids send you a text you don't understand, throw it back in their face. Send them one they don't understand. My daughter's on the couch. I'm on the couch waiting for my daughter last Friday night. She comes home. I go, "You're late." She goes, "I am not." I go, "Yeah, you are." She goes, "Dad, I texted you. BBB 10, be back by 10. I go, "I got that." "Didn't you get my text? HYBHTHBT. Have your butt home 2 hours before that." I always like to stop the show. All the parents whip out their phones and go, "What was that one again?" Let me just... I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't mean to make fun of kids. Everybody says, "Oh, kids, they're just nothing without their phones." It's the environment we're growing up in now, and we're the same way, right? We're dependent on our phones. I can't live without that GPS technology, without that perky woman's voice coming out of my phone saying, "In 500 feet, turn left." When you think about it, it's always going to be a woman's voice coming out of that thing. Because the minute they switch it to a guy's voice, you're going to hear, "Don't turn left." I know a shortcut. There's a dirt road coming up the right. It's not even on the screen. Take it. Now! I just think kids are more dependent on it than we are. You don't believe me? Without their phone, kids have absolutely no idea where they are. You don't believe me? Just drive a carpool around once in a while. I've driven enough carpools where I'm convinced there are 5 things that kids say on every carpool ride. Here they are in no particular order. Turn left. I mean right. No, left. Okay? I'm pretty sure that's my house. I thought you knew where I lived. You just passed it. And my favorite, my mom just texted that she's picking me up. Can you turn around? I shouldn't make fun of kids with technology because they're much smarter about it, particularly when it comes to the phone. You want a tip here? And maybe you've already learned this. Never, ever give your children your phone. Never, ever let them borrow it because they will start messing with it. And then they'll give it back to you. You have no idea what they did. I got this new phone, like some Android something, and my little one looks at it, and she goes, "Oh, Dad, you got a new phone. Can I borrow it? I just want to show you this really new, cool photo app." And like an idiot, I go, "Okay, yeah." 5 seconds later, that's my new screensaver right there. Luckily, I'm a really quick learner. Everybody, meet my daughter right there. So anyway, yeah. So I'm a long way from home. That's one of the sort of the drawbacks sometimes about this job is you travel a lot. But my kids, the great thing about this job is the potential for fringe benefits. Like I started out the year, I did a show for Microsoft, and it went so well that they sent me one of their brand new Xboxes. I did a show for Apple. That went so well, they sent me one of their new iTouches. Now, I am not going to jump to conclusions with this organization. However, I did tell my kids if Daddy does really well in Hawaii, he could come home with a set of prefabricated orthoses. They haven't slept in weeks. My wife just texted me. She said, "Get 2 pairs so they don't fight about it." Actually, though, my wife and my children are actually with me on this trip, which is really nice. And if you brought your spouse with you, I think a lot of you did, good for you. Because one thing I've learned is when you travel solo on business, the worst part of that are those uncomfortable phone calls home. Because when you call home, and you're traveling solo, you can never allude to the fact that you're having any fun. Even if you have to lie through your teeth. When you call home, everything has to suck, doesn't it? Right? Yeah, the plane was late. They didn't have your hotel reservation. You cooled your heels in the lobby for 4 hours. You finally got in your room. It's really small. It reeks of smoke. There's no internet connectivity. You can't get a cell phone signal. And above all, back me up on this, all you've done all day long is work, right? And sometimes that's not even enough. I called my wife in the middle of a 3-day bender in Vegas. 3-day conference in Vegas. She goes, "So, what have you been doing all day?" I go, "Let me tell you what I haven't been doing, honey. I haven't been outside all day. I don't know what it's like out there. From 6 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night, all I've done is work. I haven't even eaten, honey. The only thing I've had to eat all day long is the mint on the pillow." "Oh, you had a mint on your pillow. That's nice." You know what I had on my pillow this evening, Greg? Dog puke. That's what I had. So I got my wife with me and I got my kids with me. So we're in the middle of like a 6-day swing through Hawaii here. And, traveling with kids, especially if they're teenagers, man, that can be tough. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you, I'm going to sum up in one photo right now what it is like to travel with the Schwem family. There it is, right there. Check that out. Does that look like your hotel room too? That was our last 5-day vacation, which turned into a 4-day vacation because it took a whole day to untangle the hairbrush from all the cords. And that's not even all the cords right there. That doesn't even show you. I'm off to the right with another one wrapped around my neck, threatening. So, anyway, but I do want to, as I said, I want to thank you all. I want to thank Upshur Smith for sponsoring me. That's what I told my kids. I said, you know what? Be nice to everybody, okay? Look them in the eye when you meet somebody, shake their hands, because you never know if this comedy thing doesn't work out for Dad. Maybe I can get a job with the sponsor. As a matter of fact, I pulled this off of your website here. Upshur Smith is looking for a senior biometrician if anybody wants to join this great company. Let's take a look and see what the requirements are. Of course, you need to be able to develop SAPs by working with CROs to produce TPPs and CDPs. I need to be able to lead the delivery of CSRs, ISS, and ISE. I need to be trained in ICH/GCP with knowledge of CDISC/ADAM plus SAS. And most importantly, you need outstanding verbal skills. So... Upshur Smith's sitting right there. I'm just curious, lady, if you guys never filled this job, would anybody even know? That's the weird thing, man. I mean, people have such weird job titles now. That's when I found out you were foot doctors, I'm like, okay, I get it. I don't have to have that explained to me. So many groups I work for, I'm always afraid I'm going to say something stupid. I just did a show for Cisco. I said, what do you do for the company? The guy says, I'm a virtual engineer. I go, no, you're not. I can still see you. Did a show for a pharmaceutical company. I said, what do you do for the organization? The guy says, I'm the assurance director. Like, what does that guy do all day? Just walk around from cubicle to cubicle? It's going to be okay. I don't understand why the unemployment rate is still hovering in like 7.5% when you have jobs like that that's available. You know, like I feel sorry for kids coming out of college that don't have a job, but I don't feel sorry for kids that are unemployed because they had this really weird college major. Like, okay, let me give you an example, okay? There's this kid that works at the end of my block. I said, how's the job search going? He goes, horrible. You know, I graduated a year ago, June. I still haven't found work. I go, that is horrible. What'd you major in? Medieval history? Really? No one's hired in that field, huh? Gee, have you sent resumes to all the Knights of the Round Table? My uncle knows Harry Potter. Let me make a few calls. The only thing worse than the one stupid college major, the two stupid college majors, the double major. There's this kid that works at my health club. I said, what'd you major in? She goes, I was a double major, philosophy and Italian studies. Great. Yeah, you'll be the deepest thinking waitress at the Olive Garden now, won't you? I'm excited. My oldest is thinking maybe of a career in medicine. She's very interested in physical therapy, and so we've been looking at a lot of schools. She's going to be a senior in high school, so we've been looking at a lot of schools that have, medical facilities on site and so forth. And I said, have you ever thought about, I said, you're going to be meeting a lot of people who are podiatrists, if you're interested in that. And she said, oh boy, that sounds like, you might need to know an awful lot of stuff. And it is true. I mean, right now you're looking at ICD-10. This is a website I came across here that explains ICD-10, okay? I don't know why you're all just bent out of shape about how tough this is going to be. Let's take a look at this. Neoplasms, which were previously scattered throughout ICD-9 codes, are now contained within the same chapter, and all neoplasm codes start with the letter C. Think of C as in cancer. To remember neoplasm codes. Likewise, codes for obstetrics all start with the letter O, and diabetes mellitus codes start with the letter E. Think of E as endocrine. And you need another year to do this? Who's going to teach you about ICD? And that's why I think it's great that you're having all these lectures. Who are you going to go to? The government? I went to the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services. They have a frequently asked question link on ICD-10. Let's take a look at one of those questions. My question concerns how claims should be handled when they are split for an outpatient encounter spanning the ICD-10 CM/PCS implementation date. I understand claims for services provided prior to October 1st, 2015 must be billed separately from services provided on or after October 1st, 2015, and that when claims are split for an encounter spanning the ICD-10-CM/PCS implementation date, you must maintain all charges with the same LIDOS. But if there is no LIDOS, do I need to maintain a log of charges for cost reporting purposes? You know what's frightening? That is a frequently asked question. And in case you're wondering, the official Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services answer to that question is, what? Anyway. I'm sure you talk about different things every year when you come here, because in the medical field, no matter what branch of medicine you're in, there's always something new. Like I'll do shows for medical conferences. There's always some new disease that they're worried about. One year it was West Nile virus. Another year it was swine flu. Oh, what are we going to do about swine flu? You know what you're going to do about swine flu? Catch that kid. That's what you're going to do about swine flu. You don't need a big study for that. Here's something I'm really excited, and good for you for doing this, is APMA has gone mobile. Hopefully you have all downloaded this app on your mobile device. I've used it. It's wonderful. It tells you exactly what's going on, and I applaud APMA for doing this, because that's what people want now. And that's what people want. That's what your patients want. They want mobility. They want the ability to set up appointments via their phone. Everybody wants to do everything mobile. Do you know that I used a mobile app to determine whether or not I wanted to work for this organization? I use this one, the Vampire Detector. Now, what you do is you download this, then you wave it at somebody, and it tells you whether or not that person is in fact a vampire. $1.99. They saw me doing that when you were coming in. Some of the folks from APMA, they said, Greg, put that away. There's no vampires in this room. I said, so you're telling me of all the members of APMA, there are no blood-sucking individuals who feast on weaker beings simply to enhance their own self-worth and preservation? They said, well, we didn't say that exactly. The buses are running slow. I love Medical App. Medical App has some of the weirdest apps I've ever seen, okay? Ever seen this? Anybody have this one? Tummy Trends, Constipation and Irritable Bowel Syndrome Tracker. Don't download this. You will get some of the weirdest emails you've ever encountered in your life. Not to mention the chat room invites. I'm kind of a health nut. I try to take care of my body, so I downloaded this one recently. This is called Health Calc 5. This is an app that will all by itself measure your BMI, your body mass index. It's really easy. This is the home screen here. They just ask you for some basic information. In my case, I'm 50 years old. I'm 6 feet tall. I weigh 195 pounds. Then I hit calculate, and the app all by itself tells me that I'm a little fat, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it gets better. Now that I know I'm a little fat, the app all by itself will send that information to Twitter. Anyway, I got about 5 minutes left here, and then I know we're going to open up the convention hall here, and I'm going to be down there, and I'll tell you about that in just a second here. But what I want you to remember, and this is what I tell all clients I work for when you go to this conference, think of the real reason that you're here. You are here, even though those of you who've been podiatrists or have been in the field for 25, 30, 35 years, what keeps you coming back? Because you're looking at new ways to do old things. Isn't that what all your oral abstracts about? New innovations, new ideas, right? That's, to me, is the secret of success in any kind of business. Look at an old product in a new way. Simple, right? And when I come across companies that are doing that, I like to share them with the group. Anybody ever heard of this organization? This is the American Girl Doll Company. This was started in a small town in Wisconsin. It is now owned by Mattel. Last year, this company did $600 million in sales. Do you know what they sell? Dolls. Why are they so successful? Because they look at a doll in a new way. Now, I know about this company because I said I have two daughters who are very into American Girl dolls. And every year, for some weird reason, I'm the guy that has to go down to the American Girl doll store on Michigan Avenue and get a new doll or a new outfit for the dolls. This is not something men should do. Because, guys, when we were growing up, we had a doll. Who was our doll, gentlemen? G.I. Joe, thank you. How many outfits did Joe have? One. Fatigues. Okay, don't ask, don't tell, Joe had two. But other than that, one. There was no accessorizing. You know, it was just one outfit. There was never any of this, ooh, Joe's on shore leave this weekend. What should he wear to chase hookers in Okinawa? You know, it was just one. Why does every doll have to have multiple outfits? When the new Batman movie came out a couple of years ago, I walked into a toy store. They had Batman in 7 different outfits. They had Batman in military fatigues. When did Batman join the armed services? You know, I don't remember any Afghan fighters in a foxhole going, oh my God, it's Batman. Not this freak show. So I walk in. Okay, it's 2 weeks before Christmas. It's me and 5,000 frantic individuals running up to the hired help saying things like, have you seen Samantha? I need to find Brittany. Where's Emma? And I go, ladies, take a pill. You cannot have all lost your kids at the same time. No, they're not talking about kids. They're talking about dolls. They think these dolls are real. Okay? My little one wants Emma for Christmas, so I go charging up to the 9th floor of the store. And I find it, and it says, Emma, of course, you're buying a little person, so all the dolls have stories. So it says, Emma is an upper-class girl growing up in Minnesota in 1842. I turn the doll over. Emma is $149. That's what a town in Minnesota cost in 1842. So I take it up to the counter, and the woman says, oh, sir, Emma will make a lovely addition to your family. Do you have enough outfits for Emma? Because, you know, Emma's riding outfit's on special this month. I said, well, she's not going to get the riding outfit because, you know, we can't afford the horse that I'm sure is behind the counter. It's wintertime in Chicago, and I thought I'd spend that money on something else, like, oh, I don't know, heat. So I'm taking naked upper-class Emma out the door. And I'm passing the weirdest I've ever seen. I'm passing the American Girl Doll Salon, where you can get the doll's hair braided. The American Girl Doll Restaurant, where you could have lunch with the dolls. Gentlemen, you have not suffered humiliation until you ask the maitre d' how much longer, and he says there's 4 people and 12 dolls ahead of you. I said, is there an American Girl bar I can wait at? Because that's what this freak show needs, just some dark room down below full of dads and American girls who didn't make the cut, you know? Who's on the 3rd stool on the left? Oh, that's American Girl Agnes. She comes with a cigarette and divorce papers. Ah! Oh, it gets better. A couple of months ago, I'm heading downtown. My wife says, "You going to the city today?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Great. Brittany's hair's falling out." I said, "I have no idea what you just said, but I think it has something to do with the American Girl doll store." She says, "Yes. If you could take Brittany down there and fix her hair, your girls and I would appreciate it." Okay. First tip I'm going to give you. You ever walk into an American Girl doll store holding a doll? Don't carry it by the hair. I mean, I might as well have just been drop-kicking golden retriever puppies across the lobby, you know. Again, oh my God! Sir, you're going to take that to the American Girl Hospital. Excuse me? I mean, I don't even have my, is this take Blue Cross? I don't even have my insurance card with me. No, they got a hospital. It's on the top floor, and it works just like a regular hospital emergency room, meaning you sit on a bench, and you keep moving down with your doll until an American Girl physician can see you, and you pray to God that an American Girl trauma case doesn't come busting through the front doors. I hate this store, and I'm fascinated by it because they look at an old product in a new way. And if you don't believe me, visit an American Girl doll store. Go online. You will see rows and rows of American Girl dolls for every little girl's taste. You will see racks and racks of clothing and accessories for the dolls. I passed a rack of clothing that was too big for dolls, and I'm looking at it going, oh, I get it. This is clothing for little girls, so little girls can look exactly like the dolls. It's weird. And the only reason I bring it up is those are my kids in that photo. Stop laughing. That is a $900 Christmas card you're looking at. Anyway, that's an older photo of my kids. I brought a more recent one of them. There they are today if you want to see them. So, yeah. Hey, Frank mentioned that I also wrote a book. I'm a big believer that you write about things that frustrate you because I think that's the funniest stuff. To me, the most frustrating things out there are technology and parenting, which is why I wrote Text Me for Breathing. This has been selling on Amazon for about 3 years now. I'm very excited about that it continues to do well because I think people really relate to the topic. So if you would like to purchase a copy, it's a great beach read. I will be down in the APMA. First, I'm going to be at the Upshur Smith booth for a few minutes. I'm going to be over APMA selling and signing these copies. My kids are going to be helping me. My wife's going to be helping me. So please come by and meet them because they want to meet you. We will also see you at the luau tonight. I want to thank you for having me. If you'd like to hire me, let me give you my contact information. There you go, right there. Wait, I got a new cell phone. Hold on. There you go, right there. Send me your funny stories. Please follow me on Twitter because all the stories you've heard here are true. The funniest stuff is the stuff that is true. Mahalo to everybody. We'll see you at the luau tonight. We'll see you at the APMA booth. And thank you. Enjoy your conference. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Greg. Please join me in thanking Upshur Smith for once again for sponsoring this wonderful opening session. Thank you. Greg will be in the Upshur Smith booth number 809 during our exhibit hall grand opening immediately following this session. Now, before you leave, there's more. Please join us in the, I hope I get this right, the Kamehameha exhibit hall and visit the exhibitors and sponsors that make the National possible. I wish it said Long Island, New York. And now I have one more great privilege. Please join me in welcoming Hula Hui o Kapuna Hala, or as we say in Brooklyn, these dancers. These fantastic dancers will welcome you to Hawaii the hula way and lead us into the exhibit hall following their performance. A special thanks to the Hawaii Podiatric Medical Association for this great treat. Thank you all for making a commitment to excellence in podiatric medicine by attending, as Greg said, the nation's premier foot and ankle meeting. I wish you a truly great meeting and a wonderful experience here in Hawaii. Mahalo and aloha.
Ha'amai na iwa mehi iaka, me kapolaka I kaulu vehi vehi. Ne e mai na iwa maku ualo, me ke alo kapu o ke a iwa iwa. Ho'i no e ke kapu me na ali'i, e ala mako a paulo ala e ala e ala e a. Hano hano o e ka hiku ana lani, I ke kukulu ho ia o ia lani hale. O ka hale ai moku ia o na li'i, poni ia e ka pi o anu e nue. Ka hiko kino ui ke a ali'i, a hele I rose ko haka lele poni. He aha ko vehi e like, mai le lau o na wana o ko iahi. Ulu mahi e he ko wike a uli, I ko ho ailo na kapu o ke a upuni. Pono mau no ke ea I ka velo velo, a ka hai Hawaii I aloha ia. Kaulana oi ka holo ka apuni, ka lalapa wila me ka hai kelepona. Hia ai ka mana o I ka apoleo, e ne hana houloa o ke aunei. Eo e ka mamu a ki awi a he ulu, me ka haku mele nui o ululani. Huana no ke aka mai ola a mea, no ka hiku ana lani la he inoa. Ho'i e, ho'i la, ho'i e ko hue, I ko ukale hua o kula manue. Ona ona I te ala lau o te tupu 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 a e te aloha no hopona I tani oe. Iai. Ho'i. Mahalo for your kindness. I hope you enjoyed that as much as we enjoyed performing for you. And so, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and aloha. Aloha. Mahalo. Let us introduce ourselves. I'm Reeves, 10 years old, from Kalihi Valley.
And I'm Kira, 11 years old, from Aiea.
And together, along with our hula brothers and sisters, we are the Hula Hui o Kapunahala dancers of Nu'uanu YMCA under the direction of Auntie Carolee.
First of all, we'd like to thank Auntie Lorraine and Dr. David Yee for the invitation to perform.
Equally important, we'd like to thank the Kupuna and parents for the strong support. The transportation, the adornments, the costumes, I could go on and on, but on with the show.
Aloha, everyone. Our keikis are here especially. We like to have them all moved down so that the Hawaii Convention Center podium here doesn't block a view all the way down to the end. Move over, Dustin, all the way over. He thought over meant forward. They speak another language. Imua. Kahalo. Little hula flirts, little hula flirts in hula skirts, are winking at the boys in aloha shirts. That's the way they do the Aloha Week hula. Around the aisle, mile by mile, take a little tour, it's Hawaiian style. That's the way they do the Aloha Week hula. For a brand new step, you can try to match a toot-toot walk and do the taro patch. Clap your hands, the music is grand, and do the ummy for the boys in the band. Hey, beat that drum, dumpty-dum, a wiggle in the middle, it's a lot of fun, that's the way they do. The aloha week hula, little hula skirt, a little hula flirts in hula skirts, a winking at the boys in aloha shirts, that's the way they do. The aloha week hula, around the aisle, a mile by mile. I take a little tour, it's Hawaiian style, that's the way they do. The aloha week hula. For a brand new step, you can try to match a toot-toot walking through the taro patch. Clap your hands, the music is grand, and do the ummy for the boys in the band. Hey, beat that drum, dumpty-dum, a wiggle in the middle, it's a lot of fun, that's the way they do. The aloha week hula, that's the way they do. The aloha week hula.
Aloha!
Hoi, a little hula flirt, in hula skirt, a winking at the boys in aloha shirt, that's the way they do. The aloha week hula, whoever's last huli, that's the way they do. The aloha week hula. Thank you. Aloha.
Guys, what are we doing here?
Boys are a little slower. They want to stay on the stage. We said, get off. Mahalo for your kindness and good luck to all of you. Welcome to Hawaii, and we hope you have a great time. Aloha.